the focus that we want to make for this coming week. As we mentioned, the message for this week was coded within the portion Bechukotai. I want to start with one of the stories that started the whole journey of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai to come into the revelation of the wisdom of the Zohar and the wisdom of Kabbalah. His teacher was Rabbi Akiva, and throughout his journey of studying and then teaching, he came into a place where he had 24,000 students. They all left the world around the same time, like in few weeks. In the physical story, we learn that they left the world because of a plague that happened at that time. However, when we get into the spiritual meaning behind anything that takes place in life, there is a big question that many asked: how come that those 24,000 students were extremely elevated and spiritual individuals? How come that they all perished from the world at the same time? This cannot be a coincidence, because not everyone died in the plague, but all of the students, beside of 5, just left the world in this short period of time. The sages explained that the reason was not the plague. What makes them being vulnerable for the plague to affect them in this way is that they were lacking in their level of spirituality, love for each other. The sages explained that if they would have more love for each other, it would create protection over them. So out of the 24,000 students, only 5 left, and one of them is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. One of the messages that we receive is, as we mentioned, if those 24,000 students, it is not about that they weren't elevated enough or righteous enough. Just missed one little thing. There's a little bit more love internally towards each other. They didn't have it, but the 5 students who did stay in the world, and among them Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, they did have it. Externally, probably if we would look at the 24,000 students, we would see people who love each other. Probably most of us would not be able to recognize what is the story even about, because we would look at very powerful, elevated individuals. However, Rabbi Akiva was their teacher. He knew more than anyone else what goes in the internal aspect. And he saw that they just were lacking this little more love for each other. What made those 5 students who left in the world, according to Rabbi Akiva, being in a place that they connected and they had the capacity of loving each other in a whole different level than all the others. To understand how much the awakening of our heart towards each other brings protection into our lives. Sometimes it's not easy, but as we learn in many of the classes, everything in life follows the level of your desire. So even if something is not easy for me to open my heart or to extend the energy of love towards other people, that it's difficult to love them because of whatever reasons that I have, right? But when you realize that when your heart opens up, It is not just becoming more spiritual individual or elevated person that can love more people. It's literally a way to bring more protection into our own lives. It is to complete an aspect within our vessel that makes the vessel stronger and not vulnerable for negativity that happens from the outside.